banks say yes, SEC power struggle. So this one really caught my eye as well.
XRP's facing some sell-off pressure, but we're maintaining that $3 floor support. We'll talk price action. Banks are making it easier to play with crypto. Yeah, trade.
So I feel like the banks have always been kind of against crypto, and suddenly now they're allowed to hold crypto. This was just 2 weeks ago, and now everything changed, and suddenly you can get crypto banks to start working with you. That's the big news now. Crypto banks went from, I don't want to work with crypto, they can finally start selling it, right?
Guys warming up? Well, yeah, especially after the Genius Act. The Kraken IPO is heating up. I got a valuation for you. The SEC wants to regulate crypto, even though they said most of crypto isn't a security.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
That's right. Coinbase and JP.
Again, Coinbase and JP Morgan actually collabed after such a long time. And we have been waiting this for a long time. The crypto report, all we need to see is what was promised for XRP. So digital assets, they already have it set in stone. But what about XRP itself? This is what, is really going to be bullish. When this comes for the US crypto companies, I feel like there's really going to be a momentum there of people coming in and saying, oh, governments mentioned XRP, XLM, all these institutions will be seeing it live. And that's how crypto will become mainstream. But until then, I still feel there's so much untapped potential for crypto. It's still not mainstream. Even at this level, even in 2025, I feel like crypto is still to this day not mainstream.
Partners with JP Morgan Chase to redeem card rewards in USDC stablecoin. I think this is good. I really do, because one of you asked, hey, what about crypto rewards for cardholders? Well, we've got one right now. Coinbase announced a collaboration with JP Morgan Chase that makes it easier for Chase clients to onboard with the crypto exchange. This means that Chase customers will be able to onboard into Coinbase using Chase cards and bank accounts. Now, this is a big deal because we've seen recently, like real recently, that some banks out there are blocking you from getting into crypto. But now JP Morgan Chase is like, yo, if it's Coinbase, we're cool with it. I wonder what kind of sweetheart deal those two worked out. Additionally, customers will be able to redeem Chase Ultimate Rewards for USD stablecoin. Okay, I'm cool with that too.
So any partnership, I feel like, that is in crypto, this is the big thing that the banks say yes. Like, again, Coinbase, I don't know who won. I don't know the back deals of this. But anything like this is another chance to get a retail investor to buy more XRP. But announced a collaboration with JP Morgan Chase that makes it easier for Chase clients to onboard with the cryptocurrency exchange. Again, a bank collaborating. I feel like they paid out JP Morgan, or they're getting some sort of commission. I'm not too sure who initiated what. I'm guessing Coinbase, and I'm guessing this was very, very expensive. But this could be misinterpreted as crypto being made directly available to Chase clients, but it isn't quite. It simply reduces the friction for Chase customers they want to onboard onto Coinbase. So plans to enable clients to buy crypto and include it in their statements, with the other functionality coming in late 2026. So 2026 is where people from the banks will be able to buy cryptocurrencies, including XRP potentially. I'm not sure if this will be delayed, but again, banks... You can go on bank and buy crypto. I mean, this wasn't possible 1 year ago. So this could be the very first partnerships we see in history. Change that.
This could be misinterpreted as crypto being made directly available to Chase clients, but it isn't yet. It just reduces the friction. Again, banks are like, okay, we'll dip our toes in the crypto water, but we're not going full balls deep. However, in May, the bank announced plans to enable clients to buy crypto and include it in their statement. That's going to be coming in 2026, okay? So
late 2026. So I'm guessing if it's called late 2026, it's probably going to be September or November. Again, these things with crypto, the days of pump are over. Like, you got to wait years before you actually see stuff starting to happen. The regulation is so slow with these things. Everything is testing. Like, they're just testing stuff if it works. Will people spend more money? Will we get more money with using crypto, or will we get into a lot of trouble? I feel like that's the big thing that, banks are waiting for.
citing people familiar with the matter, adding that Kraken was last valued at $11 billion.
But yeah, these big exchanges, they are getting started, and they're getting started with banks, and they're going to be the first ones. It's not just ETFs that are growing crypto at this point.
In 2022. So essentially almost a 40% increase in value since 2022. Yeah, we could blame regs for that. Finally getting some regs. Bloomberg reported in March that Kraken was targeting a public debut as early as the first quarter of 2026, citing more friendly regulatory environment under the Trump administration. I'm thinking if some of these exchanges out there, the IPOs for them, if they're thinking that, we're going to get clarity or some market structure bill passed before then. I'm really getting that vibe that some of these people are trying to time it. The company could be looking for a windfall amid recent boom in initial public offerings, which so far has netted big money.
I feel like the crypto exchanges tried that for the last 10 years. That's why they didn't list XRP. So they literally tried that for the last 10 years. And when XRP had a lawsuit, guess what? They all removed it. Because they're trying to get listed as an IPO. They're trying to enter the big money, the big players for the last 10, 15 years. Since day one of crypto, that's what the crypto exchanges are trying to do. And as soon as something bad happens, like XRP lawsuit, they were gone, and rightfully so, And as soon as everything was okay, they gave it a green light. And crypto is finally getting accepted, It used to be that terrible thing, nobody wanted anything to do with it. But now it's starting to finally slowly sip in.
For trading platforms such as eToro and Circle. Kraken has around 1.37 billion in daily trading volume and lists more than 1,100 crypto pairs. Nice. Is about half the volume its main US-based rival Coinbase. So Kraken's like, Coinbase is making money. Maybe we should make money. Does the Kraken IPO excite any of you? Let me know down below. I don't think this is going to be as big as the USDC one, because that was the big juicy stablecoin one, and then with the Genius Act right around, it was perfect timing, as if they knew, they had some inside information. Yeah, they probably did. The US SEC launches Project Crypto to bring all markets on chain. Interesting.
So this is the big thing that actually caught my attention. The disclosure came at America First Policy Institute in Washington, D.C. on Thursday, launched Project Crypto to modernize security law to bring all U.S. financial market on chain. So, crypto capital of the world. Again, this is another step of the U.S. government trying to do its thing. SEC Chair Paul Atkins outlined several initiatives that would drive their new course, insisting it was the priority commission under this leadership. Some of them include updating antiquated regulations, facilitating super apps, and chancing crypto custody and trading. So this could be the first step to getting, everything approved, especially US companies. So I'm waiting for the US companies to win first.
Speaking at the event, SEC Chair Paul Atkins outlined several initiatives that would drive this new course, insisting that the priority of the commission under this leadership. Some of them include updating antiquated regs, facilitating super apps, and enhancing crypto custody. Now, there's an interesting thing about this, and this is kind of what's wonky, okay? During his speech, Atkins directed the SEC commissioners to prioritize the development of clear regulatory policies that would attract crypto back to America. Okay, here's the problem. Interestingly, Atkins stressed that most cryptocurrencies are not securities and that the agency would create clear guidelines and digital asset clarification. So if the majority of crypto are not securities, why the hell is the SEC trying to make the regs for it? That makes no sense. No fucking sense whatsoever.
I feel like that the government is still trying to find out what crypto actually is, what XRP is. And that's why the SEC lawsuit, in my opinion, and I could be very wrong here, is still ongoing. So here's why the SEC lawsuit is basically getting, it's getting sidelined. Nobody can decide for sure what's going on. And they're still kind of deciding. That's why these crypto laws are in effect. And that's what we're seeing right now, why these crypto laws are going up, down, left, right. So yeah, let that just sink in, that these crypto laws are still, they're good, they're great, but at this rate, it might take 2-3 years, at least 2 years before we see the final explosion. Because these things will really take lots of time to get established.
It's all about power, everyone. It is all about power. He also noted that the SEC would enhance the tokenization efforts in America, working closely with firms pursuing the distribution of tokenized securities to provide the required support. Furthermore, the SEC would also modernize crypto custody and trading rights. According to Chair Atkins, Americans have the right to self-custody of their assets. You can bet we do. While existing regulations do not have digital assets in mind, he noted that his administration would make necessary changes. Again, Atkins is a piece of fucking shit. What has the SEC done differently than the previous regime?
I don't agree with that because we are getting the ETFs approved. So here's the thing though, like XRP breaks down key resistance after failed breakout. Again, the lawsuit is over. There's a lot of stuff happening for crypto and Trump is going to push this stuff into effect. You got to be like you got to like do proper research to understand what's going on here. And crypto markets right now are literally changing in front of our eyes. We went from the US government not wanting to accept crypto to being promised that they will buy these cryptocurrencies, right? Like the US based ones. And they also said Bitcoin, Ethereum. We haven't heard from that since January. So that is what immediately when we heard that promise in November, that is when XRP saw that big price growth. So who knows at this price point, like that means they will, because they waited so long, it went from 50 cents, it went to $3. Now, I don't know if they said they will buy, I'm guessing they will buy in dollars, and I'm not sure what the amount is, but they will get less XRP return on their investment because XRP has grown so much. I mean, they probably have so much money, they don't care about that, but the thing is here, there's so many rallies that have changed the crypto history forever.
Everyone going, oh my gosh, overnight we're going to have this mega god candle. No, you've seen. Players are just taking their sweet ass time in this space. In fact, look at regs, right? The Clarity Act is not going to pass cleanly, so that's going to take even more time. ETFs, they take a shit ton of time. In terms of crypto, crypto with Claus is really right on that part. These things take a ton of time. Like crypto regulation is probably going to take years before we see any changes that we never saw before. So it might take like 3 years to get in effect, a year and a half, like I was talking in my last video. It's not going to be super fast, super clean pumps. Again, it might take tons and tons of time that we are waiting for, that we have waited for long. Regs like outside of Congress, where like the internal divisions are still trying to figure it out, taking time. Yeah, there's nothing moving fast in this space. Now, it is good, I will admit that, because we are in a better spot than where we were, say, a year ago. But it's still way not juicy. And here's what I mean. You had Trump tweet about the strategic reserve. Haven't had shit since. The White House report, nothing about a strategic reserve in it. So are we just going to wait longer? Like, what's going on, United States government? And think of all the hoopla and drama shit that's gone on too, right? This is the same playbook, just with a different group of people in leadership, right? You still got Pocahontas being negative about shit. You still got Maxine Waters saying crypto's bad, even though when SBF gave her money, crypto was good. So So
right now, it's going to take probably years of regulation before we see those pumps that we have forever waited for. So remember, it's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's going to take lots of time for this to materialize, basically. It's not going to be so easy as people expect. But it is going to happen, in my opinion. It is going to happen at some price point, at some level. We are going to be seeing these massive gains that retail investors coming in, but it's only going to happen to patient people. And again, I was talking this for 5 years that this will get in effect. And after 5 years, here we are. And now it might take another 2 years for the crypto bills to get approved. They're not going to be overnight. They're not going to be today. They're not going to be tomorrow. But they are a good indicator because as long as this is moving, US is literally losing millions of dollars because they're competing with all other countries trying to get the first regulation. Again, crypto is unregulated in a lot of countries. It's not accepted as a payment, but the technology is there. So what the US is trying to do is trying to win first, to be in the race where it's going to be that big player, where all of the people, all of the events, all of the hype, all of the gatherings are going to be in USA. And that's what they're promising. And that's what we need to see for XRP to really grow. And people are saying no. Some are saying yes. That's politics. You can't always get them 100% to agree on. But when it gets done, it's done forever, right? Unless it gets something reversed in the crypto government, next crypto government, it's going to be insanely bullish because it means banks will be allowed to buy crypto. Then you're going to have institutions being allowed to buy crypto. You're going to have everyone being allowed to enter the small markets, which are much more dangerous, but also much, much more profitable. So I'm chilling, scoping XRP as I can. That's nice. FizzleWiz, good job. But yeah, I'm really not afraid right now. So the XRP market reset just happened. It's another video.
Guys, we have an urgent
XRP market reset.
Market just sold off, and this is actually very, very good. I know that it sounds crazy to say, but
so yeah, market resets are totally healthy. It's like